the first thing that you guys need to do? जितना पढ़ा है उतना नंबर निकाल पा रहे हैं कि नहीं? That's the most important thing. So you guys need to be very sure about understanding what is test taking strategy, how to build test taking strategy. Very simple. First, you have to understand. So I'll just repeat these things quickly because we have already discussed it. What's the kind of paper that we can expect this year? Not a lot of variation will be from what has already been coming. For example, in CAT'23, you can see in CAT'23, you can see 24 questions from VARC, 20 from DILR, and 22 from Quant. You can expect something similar. The division between MCQs, non-MCQs also won't differ a lot, even though there has been an increase in the non-MCQ, but you can't expect a lot of increase also. That's the first thing. So don't expect too much of surprise in the paper. So you can bank on the mocks, and we'll discuss about the preparation strategy and the test taking strategy. But the first thing is to understand that don't expect anything unusual in the paper. That's a good thing, right? Okay. Now, if we look at the breakup also, if you look at arithmetic, algebra, 17 out of 22, 17 out of 22, and 18 out of 22. If we take geometry mensuration also, it's 19 and 19 and 20 out of 22. So if you are well prepared, then you can keep practicing numbers, PNC, maybe to an extent coordinate trigonometry, expecting one question. But if you are not well prepared, please do not waste time on these things. Try to understand what is the paper made up of. You can't expect a lot of variation. Not a lot of variation will be coming. That means it's not that suddenly you will be seeing some topic which is not coming in CAT in good numbers for a very long time to suddenly come in good numbers. That won't happen. And then, of course, we know the 4 sets of DILR. We will discuss about them. And apart from that, if you look at the breakup of arithmetic also, there is a variation. That means you can't, like, questions are coming from every single topic. You cannot choose there. In arithmetic, algebra, do less of choosing and leaving. In others, you can choose and decide, choose and leave and decide. As you may be seeing here also, you can expect anything to come in any slot, in any number. And here, if you look at numbers, geometry, coordinate, PNC, it can come, but see, 1 or 2 or 1 or 3 questions won't decide your destiny in the paper. What's the most important thing in the paper? I want to talk about that. What's the most important thing in the paper? The most important thing in the paper is how do you make U-turns? That's the most important thing. So you are solving a set, it's not happening. You are trying to solve a question, it's not happening. You're trying to read an RC, look at the questions, you're not sure which options to pick. This will happen in the paper sometimes. It's like sometimes you have good phases, sometimes you have bad phases, some days are good, some days are bad. So a paper is always a mix of emotional phases because of the way the paper is going. You are attempting the paper, the way you are attempting the paper. Now here you have to understand why EQ, why you have to take minimum 20 to 30 tests. In the next 30 days, you should take at least 20 tests, at least 20 full length mocks, because sometimes you'll be taking mocks back to back one day and second day, and then you're feeling tired. So that day you can take sectional tests. That's less stressful than taking a full length mock. You can do mix and match, but the primary objective over the next 30 days is please take tests. Try to understand what is the reason that I'm not able to score in the test with whatever I have studied so far. So if suppose in maths you have studied arithmetic and algebra to a good extent, then you have to analyze. When you take a quant sectional test, then you have to analyze. What is the analysis that you need to do? The analysis is कितना आ सकता था, कितना आया, सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कैसे थे, राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चंस किया कि नहीं, यानी कि क्या मुश्किल क्वेश्चंस को ज्यादा किया, डिड आई अटेम्प्ट द डिफिकल्ट वंस, एंड ऑफ कोर्स इफ दे वर डिफिकल्ट वंस दे वुड हैव टेकन मोर टाइम So less time would have been left to actually do the easy ones and get more marks in lesser amount of time taken. Right selection of questions. Did I have flex? Did I do okay? Did I do silly mistakes? If you're doing silly mistakes, the more tests you will take, it'll start irritating you. And when cat will be very near, say 10 दिन बचे होंगे, तब जब silly mistake करोगे, तो उस समय you will be more pained. So you will slowly actually stop committing silly mistakes. And then you have to realize that you have to be very flexible in the paper, very flexible in the paper. So what is flexibility? You're doing a set in DILR, it is tough. You have given it, say, 7-8 minutes out of 40 minutes. Then you go to another set and it's tougher, but still there are two more sets to see. So instead of panicking that, okay, the second set is also very tough, going back to the first set, that at least I have done that set to an extent, you need to relax. You need to go to the third set and fourth set and take a call. Like, you need to be flexible to move between sets, move between questions, move between passages. You don't have to go with a rigid mindset. The worst thing is expecting a type of paper, going with a rigid mindset. So you have to fight that, and it takes, ये सब सीखने में मिनिमम 20 मॉक लगते हैं, फुल लेंथ मॉक लगते हैं. अगर आपको लग रहा है चलो और पढ़ते रहते हैं, तो पढ़ाई का फायदा क्या है अगर पेपर में नंबर नहीं आ रहे हैं, इवन तो वो आपने पढ़ रखा है. दिस इज अ वेरी डीप अंडरस्टैंडिंग that students don't get, and that's the reason they're not able to score in the paper. This is a very, very big reason. So if you look at this, I think you guys already know about it. The crux, जो conclusion है वो ये है कि अरिथमेटिक अच्छे से करें, एल्जिब्रा अच्छे से करें, और अगर ये अच्छे से कर चुके हैं तो और टॉपिक्स को और अच्छे से कर सकते हैं, उस पर भी ध्यान दे सकते हैं, ज्योमेट्री जैसे है बाकी टॉपिक्स में. बट उसके बाद जब नंबर्स और फिर पीएनसी में आते हैं, बहुत समय नहीं बर्बाद करें. मॉक्स लिखें तो उसमें तो क्वेश्चंस होंगे ही इन टॉपिक्स के. सेक्शनल टेस्ट लें, उनमें ये टॉपिक होंगे ही होंगे. बट अगर आपको प्रैक्टिस करना है और क्वेश्चंस, यू वांट टू प्रैक्टिस मोर क्वेश्चंस, tough questions or any more questions you want to go for practice, is better again then you do more of arithmetic practice, algebra practice, and if time permits then geometry, and then remaining go with a clear, crystal clear strategy, because things will be like we are expecting this to happen, that this kind of paper to come, and there are chances it will come like that. Because they don't want to put you at a disadvantage. All types of students are taking the CAT examination, even non-engineers are taking. So उनको बहुत PNC देंगे, coordinate देंगे, trigonometry देंगे, numbers देंगे. This makes no sense at all. That's the reason the paper is made the way it is made. And of course in DILR we cannot expect कि कुछ बहुत आसान आ जाए, लॉलीपॉप जैसा. नथिंग लाइक दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. सो आपको क्या करना है, यू हैव टू बैंक ऑन फेमिलियरिटी टू बिगिन विथ. यानी कि अगर आप बहुत एम कैट्स लेंगे और टफ DILR सेट सॉल्व करेंगे, जब नॉर्मल प्रैक्टिस भी करते हैं, सो यू विल स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग फेमिलियरिटी विद दोस सेट्स. जो बच्चे बहुत तेज हैं जल्दी समझेंगे सोल्यूशन देख के, जो नहीं है होते हैं उनको भी तो आएगा ही फाइनली सोल्यूशन देख के. फाइनली एक बार आ गया कैसे सेट करते हैं, हाउ टू सॉल्व अ सेट, देन what you need to do is nothing. It is very plain and simple, that when you look at the set, you know you have solved something like this, you straight away go and solve it and get the answers correctly. So the familiarity part plays a very, very big role in DILR, especially if someone wants to do 2 to 3 sets correctly. Familiarity. So build familiarity, and let's go to the next slide, which is not happening despite me pressing it. Okay, now the next slide is about the VARC. Again, VARC में some things that bother most of the students is दो options में confused है. तो ठीक है, confused है, finally you have to take a call and you have to move. You can't just keep sitting there or standing there. That's the first thing that you need to realize. ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि सोचते ही रह गए, समय बर्बाद कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, in VARC you can't have 100% accuracy. Accuracy will fluctuate from one test to another test. It's just that the maxima minima shouldn't have a very wide range. But the fact of the matter is that in VARC, again, practice will help a lot. Please take a lot of sectional tests, take a lot of mock cats, Aimcats, Samcats, and try to see that in VARC, what is finally the answer? Where did I go wrong in terms of thinking? So you start building the thought process correctly. But again, you can't bank on the accuracy to a great extent. So you will commit errors. But just because you'll commit errors, it doesn't mean that you will lower your number of attempts and you are over cautious. Be cautious. Don't be over cautious. नहीं तो क्या होगा? सोचो किसी का 60-70% एक्यूरेसी जनरली आता है, वो 15 क्वेश्चंस करता है, फिर वो बहुत कॉशियस हो जाता है, वो 10 क्वेश्चंस की नहीं मेरा और एक्यूरेसी बढ़े, पर चला उसने 10 क्वेश्चंस किए, पहले जितना आता था वैसी ही एक्यूरेसी आई, बट अटेम्प्ट्स घट गए तो नंबर भी घट गए. तो वीएआरसी में वन हैज टू बी बिल्डिंग दैट थ्रू प्रैक्टिस एंड थ्रू एनालिसिस at least a healthy number of attempts in VARC. बिकॉज कम अटेम्प्ट भी करेंगे तो एक्यूरेसी 100% नहीं होगी. सो आपको स्टैमिना बिल्ड करना है कि आप VARC में अच्छे अटेम्प्ट्स कर पाए. इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Again here in VA, when we are looking at non-MCQs, the fill in the blanks and all, para jumbles and all, uh, the selection of questions, whether to attempt or not, is purely done on the merit of that question, that whether it is worth doing or not whether it's an MCQ or a non-MCQ. Because the most important commodity in the paper is time. So it's very, very important. You know, in my head I was going to say money, but that's me. It's time basically. Because in the paper, time is the most important thing. So it's very, very important that just because something is not having negative marking, so non-MCQs, the fill in the blanks, don't have negative marking. Even if you attempt all the non-MCQs and get all of them incorrect, still you will get a 0, you won't get a minus in it. Because of this, some students think that, okay, let's try to invest time here. How much time is invested on a question, on a set, on a passage, purely depends on the kind of passage or question or set that has come. Because of which, it is not the right strategy that, okay, 40 minutes and say 22 questions of quant. So what number, how many minutes should I be spending investing per question? No, that's not the right strategy. Some will be easy questions, jaldi honge, some difficult, thoda time rahega. Kabhi kabhi tum overly difficult 100% perfection तो नहीं आएगा selection of questions में. You will aim for it. So it will be obvious that in the paper some questions that you have attempted were difficult ones, more difficult ones. So it would have consumed more time. So there is no perfect timing won't happen. U-turn is what you have to be very, see, you have to learn the ability कि कैसे U-turn मारते हैं. जैसे गाड़ी चला रहे हैं, बहुत स्पीड में चला रहे हैं, कोई सामने आ गया, तुरंत ब्रेक मारेंगे, गाड़ी रुक जाएगी. Similarly, in a paper, you will be having these accident kind of scenarios, back-to-back kharab attempts ho rahe hain questions. Even in this period, when you'll be taking so many mocks, you will be like going up and down like crazy in your head, and emotionally also, if you're serious for CAT. See, there are two sets of aspirants. Even today, we are having, say, close to 400 students right now. So some will be very serious, some will be serious, some will not be serious students. So the serious and the very serious students, for them, I can relate to them that the next 30 days, it's like make or break. You can really get your favorite institute, whether it's a good top IIM or XLRI or FMS or SPJN or MDI or the top IITs or IIFT or TIS Mumbai for HR. You can get a top-notch institute. Through sheer hard work, you can get a top-notch institute, and then you can get your next big break from there, and then you have to keep fighting and keep growing, keep evolving. Now, for these kind of people who have this kind of mindset, this exam is important, and I know they must be shitting bricks sometimes. They must be like having anxiety and all, because they want, okay, who will not be scared? Someone who has nothing to lose. Someone who has invested time or wants to crack this paper, knows that, okay, I only want to go into the premium institutes, will have anxiety issues, will be scared. So it is okay to be scared, but you have to keep moving. So some days you'll be too scared, but you have to keep moving. As I said, is a strategy to be used in VARC. You can't just keep thinking, or you can't be just still. Quant का paper आया last year. It was tough. In third slot, the quant section was very tough. So बच्चे के लिए fight क्या था कि 22 क्वेश्चंस है, 5-5 6 क्वेश्चन उठा रहा है, वो 5 क्वेश्चंस में देख रहा है कौन सा सबसे डुएबल है, बिकॉज अ टफ पेपर, सो द राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चन बिकम्स मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. सो that's the reason at a very low score people got very high percentile at a very low score. किसी ने 3 अटेम्प्ट कर दिए सही आउट ऑफ 22 इन थर्ड स्लॉट, तो उसका 85 परसेंटाइल के ऊपर हो गया कौन सेक्शन में, सिर्फ 3 क्वेश्चन करने से 40 मिनट्स. राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, and right selection of question requires patience, and fear will be there, but how not to give it too much weightage when you are actually taking the paper. जब आप पेपर दे रहे हैं, fear will be there, but don't pay too much attention to it. You have to keep moving, you have to keep being in the present. Distraction, again, those students who are not used to test taking in their life, the first problem they'll be facing is that how not to get distracted, sir, in 2 hours. 2 hours is a long time, and in today's time when uh, people just want to watch short reels and all, the attention span of a person is less. Being concentrated for 2 hours is literally acidic. So you have to bring your like mind back to the paper every now and then, and slowly this thing will improve. It's like how I talked about silly mistakes, that as you move closer to the test window, and if you're a serious aspirant and every day you're going to be taking mock and analyzing, do the gap analysis. What's the gap, कितना आ सकता था और कितना आया, इसको ही आप करोगे तो आपका परसेंटाइज स्काईरॉकेट कर जाएगा. एंड नोइंग पेपर में ज्यादा क्या आता है, तो उसकी तैयारी पे मैक्स फोकस करें. You don't need to solve 22 questions, to get a top IIM. So you have to be smart, and that's how you have to do it. If you can solve all 22 questions in quant, I have trained students who have done that. Very good for you. But final objective is that you want a good big institute which can give you the big brand name and exposure and platform and a competitive peer group and some international exposure and some nice career counseling indirectly through the involvement in clubs and committees. So you want basically something that can launch your career, and that's the reason you have to put in so much effort. Okay, so again in VARC, I don't expect it to be an easy section. Don't expect any section to be easy. That means right selection of questions करेंगे, पैनिक सब कम कर रहे होंगे, मैं कम पैनिक करूंगा, प्रेजेंट में रहूंगा, एक एक क्वेश्चन को बाय मेरिट जज करूंगा, और ऐसा रिजिड नहीं होना है, फ्लेक्सिबल होके पेपर अटेम्प्ट करूंगा. 2 घंटे में अगर पहला घंटा पेपर खराब भी मेरा जा रहा है, 1 घंटा और बचा हुआ है, लास्ट मिनट तक फाइट मारूंगा. बिकॉज मे बी कोई सेक्शन जिसमें मुझे लगा मेरा पूरा खराब हो गया परफॉर्मेंस, होपलेस परफॉर्मेंस है, उसमें 3 क्वेश्चन सही करने से, जैसे पिछले साल हुआ था, स्लॉट 3 में 85 परसेंटाइल पार हो जाता है. तो यू हैव टू कीप फाइटिंग टिल द last moment, and this you have to build every day when you take a mock. You need to have butterflies in your stomach, you need to take it seriously, and आपको लगना चाहिए आप मोमेंट में है. गलतियां करेंगे. प्रॉब्लम क्या है, we are too egoistic as individuals and we think we are perfect, and that's the reason every time we see that we are not perfect in anything that we do, like even taking a test, and when we analyze the test and the way test has gone, we feel very hurt. Now the problem is this feeling of hurt stops us from improvement, because we can improve only on our weakness. We are not ready to face our weaknesses. So when you take a test and when you analyze it, it will show you your weaknesses. So sometimes you might feel very bad, like hopelessly bad, that it's not going to happen this year at all. This thought will come. I'm saying it's okay. This thought will come. You don't have a scissor that you can cut that thought out. What you can do instead is you can keep moving forward. You can keep analyzing and keep saying, "Acha, ye bhi ho sakta tha." When finally you'll be going, say 24th of November is the CAT day. On 21st, 22nd, you'll be analyzing some of the mocks that you have taken. These mocks will be those mocks in which you have performed badly, so that you can see where did you go badly, where did you go wrong in that particular mock for questions and all. And that analysis will further make you understand that, okay, I don't have to do this in the actual paper. So your bad attempts, your bad papers, your bad experiences are basically the textbooks from which you have to learn. You will see that as through gap analysis, there is less and less of gap. You won't have much to learn when you do analysis, like you'll be in a comfortable zone that time. Okay, moving ahead. Okay. The next one is the CAT'23 percentile correspondence. This is a scaled score. The scaled score. Just for your understanding. +3 and -1 is, so if we are looking at a 97 percentile, a score of 61.56 is there here. So 20 correct is a 60. So the student would have done 20 to 25 correct attempts in the range of 20 to 25 in a paper of 66. A correct of 20 to 25 in a question paper of 66 questions lands you in 97 percentile to 98 percentile. If you want to look at it from and this is the, like, this is not some rough estimate. This is the exact scale score and the percentile. This is not any guess or anything like that. And that's the reason if you, yes, go to this comparison, you will see that CAT'23 was tougher than CAT'22, and that's the reason, at a lower score, the same percentiles are there. So it depends on the kind of paper. And then, yes, we can look at it from required correct attempts. So this further explains, as I told you, 22 out of 66. So 1/3, if you attempt 1/3 of the paper correct, you are above 98 percentile. So this helps you in understanding, so that you understand that if even, so what is 70 percentile? 70 percentile means 70% of the test takers are below me and 30% of the test takers are above me. So if you look at the entire test taking, so if suppose 3 lakh people take the examination, or 2.5 lakh to 3 lakh people take the examination. So if we look at 3 lakh as a figure, then 70 percentile means 70% of 3 lakh, that is 2,10,000 students are below me and 90,000 students are above me, something like that. So 13. So you look at 4 to 5 correct attempts out of 66 questions. You have just attempted 4 to 5 questions correctly in 2 hours. Still you are in 70 percentile. So don't look at 70, 80 percentile. 90 percentile is a very good percentile. That's what I'm trying to explain. If anyone is a serious aspirant with good test taking strategy, you may be thinking that you are not well prepared, but through test taking alone, you can just take your score, double it minimum. So you should definitely be aiming into this category. Definitely. This is the category that you need to be aiming at. 96.6 to 100 percentile. And anyone can get this. Anyone with proper planning, proper test taking strategy, and if they're weak in something which is coming in CAT in good quantity, like arithmetic, algebra, or RC, with practice, even if they have to take help of solutions to finally understand it inside out, anyone does that, they can get 20 plus correct. I am 100% sure about it. 6-7 सही भी कर दिया तो हो गया, निकल गया यार. और इंग्लिश में और मैथ्स में थोड़ा ज्यादा भी कर सकते हो, और इंग्लिश तो फिर DILR में अगर 4-5 भी हुआ तो हो जाएगा. मतलब इट्स पॉसिबल विद स्ट्रैटेजी, यू कैन इजीली क्रैक द एग्जामिनेशन. दैट्स माय पॉइंट. And we look at why Aimcats are important. Okay, yeah. So we are talking about Aimcats. Why Aimcats are very, very important? Because it is closest to CAT. If suppose you look at last year's Aimcat and what was the difficulty level of VARC section in the CAT paper across slots, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, and if we have taken CAT'22 also, so you will see that except one Aimcat, which was easy or tough, you can make out from the cutoff. So if the cutoff is higher, that means it was easier. Otherwise, most of them were in the same band. So you can't take one Aimcat or two Aimcat and think CAT will be like this. You take at least 20 Aimcats, at least 20 Aimcats, then you will definitely not be surprised in the actual CAT examination. आपको कोई surprise नहीं होने वाला है. And of course, This I have already shared before, the kind of topics basically which come. These are the topics that you can see clearly. Samcats are basically, someone is asking what are Samcats? Self-administered mock cats, which is there in the student homepage. One student is asking, are Samcats a little toned down compared to Aimcats? No, they are not sometimes. So, see, Aimcats and Samcats are of varying levels of difficulty so that the students get an entire experience. So, don't go by, you have to take both. No, Aditi, some of them will be easy, some will be tough, some will be medium, all types. Yeah, it is important to give both. What I used to do, or what you can do, is you can alternate one Aimcat, one Samcat, one Aimcat. But if only 10 days are left and you're having 8 Aimcats and 10 Samcats, then you should take 8 Aimcats and 2 Samcats. So between them, the preference should go to Aimcat. Same with the DILR, except one DILR section which we was made very easy, 2402 last year. All of them are in the same band as CAT'22 and CAT'23. It's just to tell you that, okay, when you're taking Aimcat, no matter if someone is discouraging you that don't take this paper, it is too difficult, CAT is very easy and all, just don't go by that. And then we are looking at the last 4 years topics. So whether it was English, when we looked at the RC topics, or whether it's the DLR topics, you see that it's almost a replica what comes in Aimcats with respect to the topics and what comes in CAT with respect to the topics. Same is the case with quant, that band which is there. Then again, if you look at area wise, how in CAT, most of the questions are from arithmetic. Similarly, if you look at the Aimcats, it's a similar kind of story. This is just to tell you that if you're looking at top percentiles, 99.9 percentile, what is the range across, the slots? This is last year's. So if you look at quant, someone who got a score range of 35 to 38, 39, that means 13, 14 correct, something like that. He got a 99.9 percentile in quant. But if you look at this slot, no, this is actually comparison across year, slots, but this second slot was easier than the third slot. That's the reason with less score, you had 99.9 percentile. It was easier because of which, say 44 to 47, 48. Here it was 35 to 38. So 99.9 percentile, you're getting in the range of 44 to 48 here. Here again, it was easier than even the slot 2. That's the reason with a higher. So you can see such a lot of difference across slots. ये मत पूछना स्लॉट 1 वाले से तुम्हारा स्लॉट 2 या 3 की, ये बेटा कैसा गया भाई, बताना एग्जाम कैसा गया, और फिर वो मेंटालिटी के साथ, वो कंडीशनिंग के साथ पेपर में जा रहे हैं। पता चला वो सोच के अटेम्प्ट वैसे ही कर रहे हैं। उसका कॉन्ट बहुत आसान था, उसने बहुत अटेम्प्ट किए स्लॉट 1 में या 2 में, तुम्हारा स्लॉट 3 था, तुम सोचे यार सभी इतने अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हैं, तो गेस मारने लगे प्रेशर में आके, या अननेसेसरली पैनिक में आ गए और राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चंस नहीं कर पाए. Test taking strategy is basically the key to cracking CAT examination. Okay, so check it. Yeah, here we are. What are the questions so far? Can we get PPT as PDF? Okay. Will the recording of this meeting be shared? Yeah, it will be shared. Okay, one student is asking how score differs between Samcats and Aimcat. Don't judge a paper whether like as per whether it's an Aimcat or a Samcat. What you need to do is judge the paper independently. Like how everyone is different. Some people are expecting you should be like this, you should be like that, and it's just unnecessarily doing bheja fry to you. Why? Because you're different, that person is different, that person is not understanding you and trying to see through his or her own eyes. That's the reason in preparation, in test taking strategy also, don't copy anyone blindly. You have your own unique strengths and all. For some people, doing VA before RC helps. For some people, doing RC before VA helps. For some people, doing more of algebra first helps. For some people, they start with arithmetic. So everyone will have their own strategy. ऐसा ना हो कि बच्चे सॉल्व करें क्वेश्चन वन, फिर क्वेश्चन टू, क्वेश्चन थ्री. दिस इज द रॉन्ग स्ट्रैटेजी. यू आर नो मोर अ चाइल्ड. दैट हमें स्कूल में, कॉलेज में मिलता था शेयर करने के लिए. सो हम लोग क्वेश्चन वन करते थे, फिर टू करते. ऐसे मत करने लगना. सबकी स्ट्रैटेजी अलग होने वाली है. कोई लास्ट क्वेश्चन से शुरू करेगा, कोई पांच पांच के क्वेश्चंस बनाएगा कि क्वांट है तो पांच, पहला पांच, फिर दूसरा पांच, उसमें दो तीन उठाया, दो तीन उठाया. एवरीवन स्ट्रैटेजी विल बी डिफरेंट. बट what will be the common things among everyone's strategy will be being flexible. क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं, नहीं हो रहा है, 50-50 हो रहा है, मार्क किया, ताकि जब रिव्यू में जाएं फिर उसको बाद में करेगा, टाइम बचा है और उसे आसान क्वेश्चंस नहीं मिल रहे हैं आपको आगे. दीज थिंग्स विल बी कॉमन. जीरो सिली मिस्टेक्स करना. पेपर मुश्किल आया है, सेक्शन मुश्किल आया है, तो सबके लिए आया है, तो अकॉर्डिंगली लो स्कोर पे अच्छा परसेंटाइल बनेगा. मोर द रीजन, कदम फूक फूक के चले, इन द सेंस ओनली सेलेक्ट दोस क्वेश्चंस. लाइक राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चन बिकम्स मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. इजी पेपर में क्या है, सबको कुछ ना कुछ तो मिलता ही जा रहा है, तो राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चंस पे उतना फोकस नहीं है, स्पीड पे ज्यादा फोकस है. पेपर मुश्किल हुआ तो स्पीड पे कम फोकस है, राइट सिलेक्शन ऑफ क्वेश्चंस पे फोकस है. जैसे DILR टफ आता है, तो अगर एक दो सेट्स भी अच्छे से कर लिए तो आपका काम हो गया. यू गेट अ वेरी हाई परसेंटाइल विथ दैट अलोन. सो सैमकैट हो या एमकैट हो, जज अ पेपर बाय इट्स ओन डिफिकल्टी लेवल. और कुछ बच्चे पूछते हैं सर सेक्शनल कट ऑफ के बारे में. तो 40 सेक्शनल कट ऑफ ऐसे भी कम होता है. 85 परसेंटाइल, कहीं का 80 परसेंटाइल होता है. सेक्शनल कट ऑफ इज ओनली फॉर दोज इंस्टीट्यूट्स विच आर द टॉप इंस्टीट्यूट्स ऑफ द कंट्री. एवरेज इंस्टीट्यूट्स एंड बिलो एवरेज इंस्टीट्यूट्स डोंट वांट अ सेक्शनल कट ऑफ, दे जस्ट गो फॉर द टोटल कट ऑफ. ऑल्सो इफ यू आर प्रॉपरली प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर कैट एग्जामिनेशन, in those 40 minutes you'll definitely cross the sectional cutoff. Don't get too stressed about it. One student is asking what can be a healthy score in mocks. It depends on the difficulty level of the mock. Don't go with a predetermined number of attempts in your head or a predetermined score in your head. It purely depends on the difficulty level of the paper. And if suppose you take mocks, a lot of mocks, you will be seeing there will be a variation in score. You can't keep getting a consistent score because it depends on the type of mock. So there will be a minima maxima range. One student has asked how to analyze the LRD and quant section. Quant section को कैसे एनालाइज करना है. पेपर आपने लिया, 40 मिनट्स खत्म हुआ क्वांट सेक्शन का सेक्शनल टेस्ट, फिर बैठे, फिर देखे क्या कोई आसान सवाल थे जो मेरे से छूट गए, नहीं किया मैंने. फिर आपने देखा जो सवाल आपने किया है वो करने का तरीका सही था कि नहीं. ऐसा तो नहीं आपने लेंदियर अप्रोच यूज किया, टाइम बचा सकते थे. फिर आपको देखना है वो कौन से क्वेश्चन थे जिसमें अननेसेसरी बहुत टाइम लग गया, उसको छोड़ नहीं पाया, ऐसा क्या मोह माया है उससे. आपको छोड़ना है अगर क्वेश्चन में टाइम लगना है, मार्क करके बाद में यू कैन ऑलवेज, यू वोंट फॉरगेट इट. सो ये सब है, सिली मिस्टेक्स भी नहीं करना है. और फिर क्या, एनालिसिस में ये भी देखना है कोई पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ टॉपिक्स है जहां बार बार हम फंसते हैं, क्यों फंसते हैं, तो उसकी पढ़ाई करनी है वापस जाके. So in the next 30 days, you're taking the test, analyzing the test. On the basis of the analysis, sometimes you'll know what to study for the remaining part of the day. कि बार बार लॉग्स के क्वेश्चन में फंस रहे हैं, तो चलो भाई आज शाम को 2-3 घंटे लॉग्स की प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, थोड़ा स्ट्रेंथन करते हैं, समथिंग लाइक दैट. DILR, DILR में टाइप्स ऑफ सेट्स आते हैं ना, तो ऐसा तो नहीं गेम्स एंड टूर्नामेंट्स के सेट्स बार बार नहीं लगते, तो उस पर फिर टाइम देना होगा. किस तरह के सेट से डर लगता है, बहुत ही क्यों डर लगता है, तो उस पर और थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करें ताकि डर उसका निकाले. बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे DILR विल हैव टू डू लॉट विथ familiarity with the kind of sets that have come in the paper. Uh, Students are asking what is the correct number of attempts in DILR, quant and VARC. दैट्स वेरी टफ टू से बिकॉज यू कांट गेस। सोचो अगर मैं आपको बोलूं कि वीआरसी में बच्चों कम से कम 15 अटेम्प्ट तो करना 24 क्वेश्चंस में, आपका अभी लेवल है सिर्फ 10 का, आप जबरदस्ती 15 करेंगे और बाकी 5 जो एक्स्ट्रा करेंगे वो गलत कर देंगे, ब्लाइंड गेसेस करने लगेंगे। सो योर ऑब्जेक्टिव हैज टू बी एग्जाम के डेट तक हर मॉक में कैसे अपने आप को इम्प्रूव करें, डूज एंड डोंट्स मॉक लिखें, फिर एनालिसिस करें, गैप एनालिसिस, फिर डूज एंड डोंट्स क्या क्या हैं वो लिखें, और हर मॉक में देखें कि वो इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं। अब बैक टू बैक मॉक में इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं होगा, बट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ 3-4 मॉक्स थोड़ा इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ, फिर नेक्स्ट 3-4 मॉक्स में और इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ। This should be your prime focus. How to keep pushing the envelope. How to keep improving your score. This should be your sole motive in the last 30 days. One student is asking, sir, if we attempt only RC, will there be an issue? But अगर VA में 2-3 सवाल आसान आ गए, 16 सवाल आरसी से आए, 8 सवाल वीए से आए, वो 8 में 3 एकदम ही आसान थे जिनको हलवा बोलते हैं, वो क्यों छोड़ दिया तुमने? जस्ट बिकॉज तुमने पहले से सोच लिया कि वीए नहीं करना है। ऐसा, यही मैं बता रहा हूँ, फ्लेक्सिबल होके जाएं। हर एक सवाल को, हर एक क्वेश्चन को, हर एक सेट को, हर एक आरसी को इंडिपेंडेंटली जज करें। हो सकता है जो आपको मुश्किल दिख रहा है वो एक्चुअली में आसान है और उसका सिर्फ दिखावा मुश्किल है। प्रीवियस ईयर्स क्वेश्चंस के बारे में बच्चे पूछ रहे हैं, वो रिपीट तो नहीं होने वाले हैं, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू लाइक कॉपी पेस्ट। मोर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट ओके यू गेट एक्सपोजर टू पीवाईक्यूज, बट यू टेक द मॉक्स, take the Aimcats seriously, Samcats seriously, do the analysis, take the advanced sectional test. This is what you should be primarily focusing on. Less of कि चलो और क्लास करें और थोड़ी पढ़ाई करें, मतलब पढ़ के करोगे क्या अगर स्कोर नहीं आएगा? और जब तक टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रैटेजी अभी से नहीं बिल्ड करोगे तो फाइनल डे के पहले तक वो बिल्डअप नहीं होगा। बिकॉज मैंने बोला मिनिमम 20 से 25 मॉक्स तो मिनिमम लिखना है नेक्स्ट 30 डेज में। सो दैट मीन्स यू हैव टू स्पेंड इन्वेस्ट एटलीस्ट हाफ डे for most of the next 30 days, half day every day for mock and doing the analysis and all. Focus on test taking strategy. कुछ बच्चे बोलते और करा दीजिए क्लास और रिवीजन करा दीजिए, इसका करोगे क्या? ये करके टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रैटेजी पे फोकस करो। Harsh is writing, I'm finding Aimcats to be more difficult than previous year RCs which have come in CAT. Don't judge, just keep. See, even in CAT paper, the level of difficulty keeps going up, down, up, down. You can't predict. इवन जो VARC का पेपर होगा पिछले साल का, उसमें भी अक्रॉस द 3 स्लॉट्स डिफिकल्टी लेवल अलग है। आपने देखा परसेंटाइल में ही कितना फर्क पड़ जाता है यार, कितना फर्क पड़ जाता है। VARC इसका ये रेंज है, इसका इतना ब्रॉड रेंज है, ये और आसान था VARC तो ऊपर चला गया। प्लस VARC में ना बहुत स्कोर पे बहुत परसेंटाइल बनता है, ये DLR की तरह नहीं कि कम स्कोर पे ही बहुत परसेंटाइल बन जाएगा। यू कैन सी, यू कैन सी द डिफरेंस that generally in all the 3 sections it's VARC which requires the maximum score for a 99.9 percentile. So एक तो बात आपको समझ आ गया होगा कि VARC में स्कोर करने से ही अच्छा परसेंटाइल मिलता है, बनता है, जिसके कारण एक हेल्दी नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट चाहिए, जिसके बारे में मैं बात कर चुका हूं। That's not the case with DILR and quant is unpredictable, the kind of paper that will come. But one should ideally prepare for a difficult DILR, quant and VARC so that one is not surprised when you go to the examination. Harsh is saying, sir, what if I only take Aimcat and sectional daily, review it and just do nothing? Of course, that's the best strategy for those who have already done the preparation part. और करेंगे क्या मतलब? This is the best strategy. But for those who have prepared, students who have not completed their preparation of arithmetic, algebra, geometry, RC and all, and not had enough exposure to tough DILR sets, they need to get the exposure as well. One student is asking that can I judge the Aimcat percentile से कि क्या CAT में आने वाला है? सो एम कैट में जनरली जो आपको परसेंटाइल आ रहा है, कैट में उससे बेटर आना चाहिए. दैट इज ऑब्वियस बिकॉज एम कैट्स आर टेकन बाय मोर सीरियस टेस्ट टेकर्स. कैट बहुत नॉन सीरियस बच्चे भी लिख रहे हैं, तो आपका परसेंटाइल आगे पुश हो जाता है. ओके. So I'm trying to answer. I want to respond to everyone's query. So what I am doing is I am sharing my number. If Shubham can just type it there, it is 8948966663. So you can telegram me. I would love to address every single query. अभी मैं कुछ कुछ queries ही कर पा रहा हूँ. बहुत लोगों ने डाउट पूछा है. सो आप सब मुझे इंडिविजुअली डीएम करो. मैं आपको ऑडियो मैसेज या फिर इवन तो टुमारो आई एम traveling to Japan, but it does not matter. Like I'll be available on phone. So I'll be responding to every single student's query, and anyone can call me, anyone can contact me. I hope Shubham has. Vinay is asking, Shubham, if you can post my number. Should we prepare for OMET? Someone is asking. अभी से OMET. OMET क्या होता है? अदर मैनेजमेंट एंट्रेंस टेस्ट. जैसे कि NMAT है ही क्या यार, सिर्फ 3 तो है, NMAT, स्नैप और जैट. CMAT बहुत लेट होता है, उसका रिजल्ट भी बहुत लेट निकलता है, तब तक तो बहुत ही इंटरव्यू खत्म हो चुके होते हैं. प्लस CMAT में कोई प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूट है ही नहीं. सो आप बात कर रहे हैं कैट के अलावा स्नैप का, NMAT का और जैट का. जैट में एक्सेलराई जमशेदपुर है, बाकी सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स जो हैं जैट के अंडर में अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूट्स वो कैट लेते हैं. स्नैप में SIBM पुणे है, SCMHRD पुणे है टॉप इंस्टीट्यूट में, बाकी एवरेज इंस्टीट्यूट्स या बिलो एवरेज इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं. एनमैट में NM मुंबई है. सो देयर आर सम प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूट बिकॉज राइट नाउ you still have 30 days. First focus on CAT. Why? Except NM Mumbai, SIBM Pune and XRI Jamshedpur, ये तीनों एग्जाम में कुछ है नहीं. बट कैट में कितने अच्छे अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं. IIMs है, IIFT है, अब टिस मुंबई भी आ गया है, FMS दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी है. Many of them, many top institutes. So I would say that if I list the top 25 institute, 22 of them are accepting CAT. The remaining 3 out of the top 25 have their own examination. So if someone is preparing specific now, इट्स नॉट वेरी हेल्दी बिकॉज आपके लिए हर एक दिन इंपॉर्टेंट है कैट का. अगर कैट कर लिया तो मतलब आपका हो गया. जिनका कैट खराब होता है वो बेचारे फिर ओमेट में बहुत फाइट मारते हैं. बिकॉज ओमेट में ऐसा क्या अलग है, ओमेट में चीजें आसान हो रही है, मुश्किल नहीं हो रही है. सो कैट अगर किसी ने अच्छे से तैयारी की है वो ओमेट कर लेगा. किसी ने अच्छे से ओमेट किया है तैयार, तो वो कैट कर पाएगा कि नहीं, इसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं है. ओमेट रीजनिंग की क्लास हुई तो उसमें क्या आपने देखा, ब्लड रिलेशन, डायरेक्शन और इनपुट आउटपुट, सीक्वेंस एंड सीरीज, इस तरह के सवाल हैं. सो ये क्लरिकल है, मैकेनिकल है, इसमें बहुत दिमाग नहीं लगाना होता है. थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो आपको समझ आ जाता है कैसे करते हैं. सिमिलरली स्नैप की बात करूं, 60 मिनट्स 60 क्वेश्चन, मतलब लाइक उतने मुश्किल क्वेश्चन नहीं, तभी तो 60 मिनट 60 क्वेश्चन हैं. एक तरफ कैट में 40 मिनट्स में 20 क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं, एक तरफ यहाँ 60 मिनट्स में 60 क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं, तो पेपर का लेवल है वो बदल जाता है. तो किसका एक्सपोजर आपको ज्यादा चाहिए ओमेट की जब आप तैयारी करते हैं, मॉक ओमेट्स की, सो दैट योर टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रैटेजी कैन बी ऑल्टर्ड अकॉर्डिंगली. For OMETs, it is less of preparation, more of change in test taking strategy, the way you attempt the paper. NMAT is a computer adaptive paper. So with your attempt, every single attempt, the next level, the next question's level of difficulty keeps changing. Only one question comes at a time. You can't go back and forth. So a different strategy is required. But at this stage, when you can get 22 out of 25 institutes through CAT, I think focusing on one exam for one institute, it's not the right strategy. Ishita is asking and some other students are also asking that sir क्या आपने बोला था tough DILR sets की class लेंगे. So do you guys have time that I can take a class on tough DILR sets, or some students are saying games and tournaments अच्छे से कराइए inside out, या फिर तुम्हारे पास टाइम नहीं बिकॉज तुम लोग वो टेस्ट लिख रहे होगे, एनालिसिस कर रहे होगे. दैट्स द रीजन आई एम कंफ्यूज्ड. सो मे बी यू गाइस कैन हेल्प मी विद द आंसर हियर. Ujjwal is asking that in RC, should we go by the length of the passage? Whether you are able to, in RC, three things are important. First, again, familiarity. In any competitive examination, familiarity is the key. So, आप RC का passage देख रहे हैं, जिस area से आया है, क्या वो familiar है कि नहीं? Then you know the terminology that is generally used, the way of writing pertaining to that area. Second, when you're reading it, क्या एक flow में read कर पा रहे हो कि अटक रहे हो बार बार? ये सेकंड सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, दैट एक बार में फ्लो है, मतलब समझ आ रहा है, फ्लो है, एक अच्छा बन गया है, कॉम्प्रिहेंशन भी हो रही है और स्पीड भी है. थर्ड इज, if you are actually seeing it is too long, which is very rare that some passage will be too long. If you're actually seeing it is too long, it will take a lot of time. So in that case, you can basically not attempt it as your first, second, or third preference, as your fourth preference if time is still left. Drishti is asking me to talk about MICA. MICA is Mudra Institute of Communication Advertising. It is basically offering you a specialization in marketing communication. Marketing communication is whatever communication a company is doing to the market, whether it is through advertisements or positioning statement or tagline or a brochure or a corporate film or a radio jingle, marketing communication. But at the same time, if you go there, you study marketing also, so you get normal general marketing placements as well. It is definitely a good institute. Okay, guys, mock omits are also on your student homepage. So you'll have the schedule, like you have the schedule of the mock cats, you'll have the schedule of. Arshdeep is asking that I'm working and I am not well versed with the topics, all the topics. So you choose your battle. हाफ डे अरिथमेटिक और अलजेब्रा पढ़ा, सेकेंड हाफ उनका थोड़ा टेस्टिंग किया या फिर कुछ और पढ़ा. मतलब आप नहीं ठीक से प्रिपेयर किए हो तब भी यू प्रिपेयर on the topics which are coming in good number in the paper, and slowly start taking testing also, because you have to enter the field of testing now. That's how it is. Okay, I will clearly tell you what you should be doing again for the next 30 days. जनरली फर्स्ट हाफ में पॉसिबल हो तो मॉक लिखें, देर रात को मॉक नहीं लिखें, नहीं तो योर ब्रेन बॉडी विल गेट ट्यून टू दैट पर्टिकुलर आवर टू टेकिंग मॉक्स. डोंट डू दिस स्टुपिडिटी. इफ इट इज पॉसिबल, if it is not possible, then you take it later at night and all, but if it is possible, take it in the first half, during the first half of the day. Give minimum 1 to 2 hours for analyzing the mock and trying to see how you could have pushed your score more. In the second half, either depending on क्या परफॉर्मेंस आया, क्या बार बार खराब हो रहा है, उसका थोड़ा पढ़ाई करें. नहीं तो अगर जो की टॉपिक्स कैट में आते हैं उनकी अच्छी तरह से तैयारी नहीं की है तो उनका उनमें से कोई की टॉपिक उठाएं और करें. अगर ये दोनों की जरूरत नहीं है तो सेकंड हाफ में सेक्शनल टेस्ट लें, स्पेशली उस सेक्शन का जो फर्स्ट हाफ में आपने फुल लेंथ मॉक लिया था तो उसमें अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आया तो आपका मोरल डाउन है, आपने अच्छे से उस सेक्शन की एनालिसिस की. नाउ यू वांट टू टेक दैट सेक्शनल टेस्ट इन द सेकंड हाफ एंड सी वेदर योर एनालिसिस हैज हेल्प्ड यू और नॉट. दिस इज व्हाट यू शुड बी डूइंग फॉर द नेक्स्ट 30 डेज. कोई डाउट है तो पूछो इससे रिलेटेड. Someone is asking about DILR, which topics we should be focusing on so that we can expect those topics and it can help us with familiarity. So again, in DILR, whether it is table, bars, line, pie, caselet, arrangement, distribution, selection, order sequencing, games, roots, maxima, minima, quant-based reasoning, all of them are important. You cannot choose here. You have to basically give your best and like learn about all these topics. डूइंग लॉट 2 इज वर्थ इट और नॉट डिपेंड्स ऑन वेदर लॉट 1 अच्छे से हो गया है, सेक्शनल टेस्ट भी बहुत खत्म हो गया है, फुल लेंथ टेस्ट लिया हाफ में, तो अब नेक्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द डे क्या करें, तो लॉट 2 करें। डिपेंड्स आप किस स्टेज पे हैं, यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट what should be done for the entire day. Richa is saying that I am stuck around 60s in the mock, so what to do? गैप एनालिसिस करो, देखो क्या बेस्ट आ सकता था, हर पेपर में बेस्ट जो आ सकता था वो अलग अलग होगा। ट्राई टू, सो इट टेक्स टाइम, मतलब यू कांट बी लाइक सडनली 5 मॉक लिखा, 6 मॉक लिखा, एक्सपेक्टिंग की टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रैटेजी बिल्ड हो जाए। मिनिमम 20 मॉक्स लिखते हैं तब जाके आपकी टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रैटेजी अच्छी होती है, और अब जब आप गैप एनालिसिस करते हैं तो उतना गुंजाइश नहीं रहता है कि स्कोर और ज्यादा आ सकता था। और एक बच्चे ने पूछा मैक्सिमा मिनिमा मुश्किल टॉपिक है सर, सो क्या करें? ओके, कोई अगर आपको टॉपिक बहुत टफ लग रहा है, इफ अ टॉपिक और पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन or something, or an area in RC from where you don't get the passages to that great extent, so if it is a very big weakness, थोड़ा बहुत मेहनत करेंगे, बहुत नहीं करेंगे, उसको लेके बहुत बॉदर नहीं करेंगे। लास्ट 30 days you have to work more on your strengths, less on your weaknesses. यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन योर स्ट्रेंथ्स। वीकनेसेस में थोड़ा बेसिक कर लिया, ओके थोड़ा टफ लग रहा है क्वेश्चन, तो उसमें और भी बहुत टाइम नहीं लगा रहे, चलो लेट्स लुक एट क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम अदर टॉपिक्स बिकॉज उतना वीकनेस नहीं है मेरा उस पे। तो वीकनेस को लेके थोड़ा इंप्रूव करेंगे, बट डोंट गेट ऑब्सेस्ड on upon focusing on weaknesses rather than focusing on strengths. This is the time, the next 30 days, where you will literally see how your strong areas give a certain boost, to your scores. Nishant, please ask DM this because I don't know your batch and all. So it depends on your batch. This is seminar is for some other purpose. So guys, I'll be closing it. Why? Because I think most of you guys have individual doubts. You can DM me and I will help you out. I hope it helped. The objective of this session is very very simple. Next 30 days क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे analysis करना चाहिए, प्लीज फोकस ऑन इट। एंड अगर बड़े टॉपिक्स जो है कैट में, अरिथमेटिक, एल्जिब्रा, ये सब प्रैक्टिस नहीं किए हैं अच्छे से, तो उनका अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस करें, और टाइम बचे तो फिर ज्योमेट्री भी देखें, और टाइम बहुत प्रैक्टिस कर चुके हो तो बाकी देख सकते हैं। एंड आरसीज और डीआईएलआर ऐसा है, स्पेशली आरसीज आप सेक्शनल टेस्ट के थ्रू उसको आप करने की कोशिश करें, and take more of sectional tests now and full length tests now, so that even if you're studying, you are aware of the time, the clock। नहीं तो क्या है, कुछ पढ़े, वो क्वेश्चन करना ही नहीं था कैट में, उस तरह का क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज उसको करने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, लेकिन आप पढ़ रहे हो, समझ रहे हो उसको कैसे कर रहे हैं। नाउ यू हैव टू बी मोर प्रैक्टिकल। Attempting a paper and getting a good score on it in it requires you to be more practical than intelligent. You'll soon get this part. Less of intelligence and more of being practical, pragmatic, and that's what they look for in management and business. Like you have to be more practical, less of a idealist कि हर कुछ अच्छा हो, ऐसा करे, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं पॉसिबल है। दिस इज नॉट अ सब्जेक्टिव एग्जामिनेशन वेर यू आर राइटिंग essays and waxing eloquence. This is basically an objective test. You need to be practical. Of course, you need to have sound knowledge about the main topics with that come in CAT, but that pragmatism, that being practical will help you in the right selection of questions, and not getting bothered a lot emotionally when you're not able to get a high score, and analyzing, doing gap analysis, and taking things in a positive way. So be practical for the next 30 days. So my number is there. Which colleges forms to fill before CAT omits? So time4education.com may, if you go, our website time4education, numeral 4education.com, you will go to notifications, and if you go to the CAT/MBA, that is the B school notifications related to MBA, you will see the institutes and the last dates. So depending on that, you can decide which form to fill. Only few forms will have their last date expiring before the CAT examination, like SP Jain, MDI Gurgaon, but you can keep checking. Few of them will only. Most of the institutes will be taking, their application deadlines will be after CAT examination. But some of them, especially the top ones, some of the top ones, they'll be closing their applications before CAT. So in November, but till November you have time. Okay. Take care, guys. What about IIFT? So IFT is very, very good, and the good part is now they're going to be accepting the CAT score. What more do you want? It's like great, great news. No, there will be no problem, Shivam, if you have filled all the courses in the CAT form. Absolutely no problem. Someone is asking for ISB. So ISB is having two programs now. One is the 18-month program, which is a new program which is launched. 18-month program is for those students who have 0 to 2 years of experience. 0 year means no freshers, for freshers also. So 0 to 2 years of experience, आप Indian School of Business, which is like IIM's only ISB Hyderabad. Indian School of Business Hyderabad apply कर सकते हैं. CAT, they'll be accepting the CAT score for their 18-month, which is almost like 2 years program. And then there is another program of theirs which is popular, which they have been doing it for like since inception. Their main program so far is the 14-month program. For that you have to take the GMAT or GRE, and you require more than 2 years of experience. Uh, that's how it is. Yeah. No, you shouldn't be going for all snap attempts. It's a bogus. Like दो attempt ले लो, उससे ज़्यादा क्या लोगे? Bogus. I don't mean the exam is bogus. I mean the strategy is bogus. that चलो लेते जाएं कभी तो सूरज उगेगा, ऐसा ना करो. 2 बार लो and the best of the two will be considered. ISB freshers, is it good? Of course it is good. Don't even think twice about it. Like as I'm telling you, it is an institute which is at par with Blackie, that are the top 6 IIMs. So you should definitely try. Subtopics for arithmetic and algebra: arithmetic, simple equation, ratio proportion variation, percentages, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, time, speed and distance, time and work, averages, mixtures and alligation. This is for arithmetic. And anyways, I have mentioned all that in the slide. If you ask me, I can just share that slide with you, whoever had that doubt. That's the reason you guys can DM me directly, message me on my number. IIT Madras open admission through interview in executive MBA. So again, executive MBA is for those people who have work experience and all. And like how we only want to go to the good institutes when it comes to the 2 year MBA that everyone is preparing for. For executive MBA, it is more the reason that the institute has to be really good, because they are already they are placing students who are already like high on work experience and all. So they need to have a real good brand value, that it's able to get good positions, because senior positions will be generally coming at mid-level to senior level management positions for executive MBA courses. So one has to thoroughly research on the kind of roles that are coming and whether those roles are aligned, with your career goals or not. 3-4 घंटे भी लग रहे हैं मॉक एनालाइज करने में तो इट इज ओके. मतलब क्या खराबी है? मॉक पे ऐसा कंजूसी मत करना एनालिसिस में. अभी शुरुआत में मॉक लेंगे तो मॉक एनालाइज करने में ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा, फिर जैसे जैसे गलतियां कम होते जाएंगी तो कम टाइम लगेगा. सो डोंट, द एनालिसिस हैज टू बी डन. Someone is asking IIT Delhi, Bombay, should we apply? Of course, you should apply. IIT Delhi, everyone can enjoy, can apply. I was saying enjoy. And IIT Bombay, only BTech students. And also, we have sent that list. I will again resend it on the group. The top institutes, what is their salary, what is their fees, seats, whether reservation is there or not. And for IITs, who can apply? Like non-engineers can apply to IIT Delhi. They can apply to IIT Chennai, but they cannot apply to IIT Bombay. They cannot apply to IIT Kanpur. They cannot apply to IIT Kharagpur. So all that is mentioned. So please go through that. You have to fill. Someone is asking IFT FMS के लिए अलग से फॉर्म भरना है. अलग से फॉर्म तो सबके लिए ही भरना है. सिर्फ कैट भरा तो IIM भर गए. सबके लिए अलग से फॉर्म भरना होगा. ऑटोमेटिक कुछ नहीं होगा उसमें. Okay, guys. So I didn't want to take a lot of time of yours today because all of you are studying. So I had thought that 1 घंटे में सब खत्म करना है. आप लोग जाओ पढ़ो. If you need my help, I am there 24/7. All the best. The next time we'll be meeting will be again very, very soon for OMET preparation as well as for GDPI preparation. And if required, maybe 10 days before CAT, we can again have a session like this, what to do in the last 10 days. So thank you. Thank you. And please send me your queries. I'll be waiting for your queries. All the best. All the best. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Really looking forward to meeting you guys in person soon. Yes, let's hope. Someone has written, let's hope for All India Rank 1. Yes, it can happen. The next 30 days, just be blind and just keep focusing on how to improve your score. You guys will be surprised at the result when it comes finally. So be positive and keep working hard. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.